Chris from Movie Guide, and we're on the red carpet in Hollywood for Movie Guide's 31st annual Movie Guide Awards, and we're honoring all the best television shows and movies for inspiring content. So what was it like for you to play in Jesus Revolution?
It was an absolute joy and an honor. I had an incredible time filming Jesus Revolution. It's a story that, combines a lot of things I'm passionate about, art, artists, good storytelling, my faith. So it was honestly a dream come true getting to work on a project like that, and with such incredible creators and artists, being so collaborative and everything. It couldn't have come together any better, I think. So super proud.
Why is it important for you to be able to share your faith with the world?
I mean, I think it's what we're called to do, The great command is to go and, spread the gospel. I think that's my median is filmmaking and acting, and I think that's just the way that God has, called me to spread the word. And so getting to actually fulfill that and, bring that to life and execute that, it was an honor, and I'm so humbled and grateful to be part of the project. And to be nominated with the film is just incredible, unbelievable.
You are a young guy and you have such a strong faith. What would you like to say to our audience out there that are about your age and young about living a life with Jesus versus living a life without Jesus?
So what I would tell young audience is that Jesus, you're never alone. Jesus is always with you. You're always loved. You're always cared for. You're always, Jesus is always present. God is always with us. And so if you are struggling in life, just open up the Word. I mean, it's just really the only answer that there is in life that I've discovered. My hard days, my tough days, when my marriage is, going through something tumultuous, then we open the Word. That's the only thing to do.
Davis, you play Big George Foreman. Yes. What was that like? It was an amazing movie.
It's hard to describe the amount of work that it took to do that film. I had to lose a lot of weight, gain a lot of weight, learn how to box, and learn how to portray Mr. Foreman. It was life-changing for me. And to be here, I heard about the Teddy Bear Awards, I heard about the Movie Guide Awards, and to be here for our inspirational film means a lot to me, and it means a lot to my parents too, because my parents are pastors. So when I called them and told them that I was nominated, they were freaking out. So I'm very glad to be here for all of that work.
We're so happy you're here too, and you got to spend some time with George Foreman. What was that like?
Well, I had to remember to talk, because all I wanted to do was stare at him. When you're in front of an icon like that, you don't really know what to say. I've heard so many stories about him. I had seen videos of him, and here he is in front of me. What can I say? So all I wanted to do was listen to him speak. That was my job, right? To listen to him speak in the first place. But I was sitting there, funny story, I was sitting there, we were in his gym in Houston, and he's talking and he's talking and he's talking, and I think he had been talking for 2 hours straight, and I'm just staring at him. And then suddenly it occurred to me when he stopped talking, a voice said, "Chris, you gotta ask him something." So finally I had looked at my notebook and I was like, okay, Mr. Foreman, what about this? So being with Mr. Foreman for those 3 days that I spent in Houston, to get to know him was so magical. I have all the videos, all of the audio, all of the photos, and I'm never letting it go, ever letting it go.
How important is it for you to be able to share your faith with the world through your movies?
It was something that I admittedly did not expect to happen. When you think about doing films and you think about getting into Hollywood and things like that, you don't think that there's space for that. So I would say that that was something that I feel like was a part of my purpose without me even knowing. So I thank God for that. And, God uses you in ways that you could never imagine. So for me to be able to do that, to share that part of my life, I'm eternally grateful for. And that's the power and the magic of God. And if you just stick to the course and trust what God has for you, these amazing and beautiful things will happen. And I'm grateful to be able to do that. Because like I said, my parents are pastors. I grew up in the church. And that's not a part of myself that I want to hide. And I don't hide it, but you never think, hey, I'll get a chance to tell that part of myself, to say, hey, I'm a believer, or that I believe that God speaks to us through these types of avenues or these ways. And this is how I can say, hey, this is how God inspires people's lives. And this is what you can do if you believe in God's power. So I'm grateful.
All right, Darcy, you are an incredible comedian and ventriloquist and an entertainer. How important do you think it is for people to laugh in today's world?
Oh my goodness, it's very important. I think we tend to all get really distracted by the bad things that are going on. That we forget about. There's a lot of good in this world too, especially the entertainment industry and film and music. And laughing's really important. Absolutely.
How has your faith evolved over the time that you've been in the public eye?
Right. Well, I mean, I've always been really reserved, and I think being in the public eye is something that's been really new for me and a challenge. But I believe God has placed me in this industry for a reason, and there's peace in that. So just kind of sticking to my guns and trusting that there's a purpose that He's given me in this industry. So
I heard that you used to be shy and now you have performed in front of millions of people.
yes, I think like the max amount of people I performed for before everything was like 500 people, and now it's thousands at times. And I still get nervous, but I have to remind myself that there is a purpose for that, and making people laugh and smile and kind of reminding them that there is a good God in this world is really rewarding.
So, Catherine, how has playing Mary in The Chosen changed your life?
Oh my gosh, I just see it as such a beautiful gift I was given, and it's been a real, true honor. I feel like it's expanded me as an actor. It's some of the most challenging things I've had to do on screen, and it's just been a wild journey, and everyone has been so welcoming. It's just, I only have wonderful things to say.
How has your faith grown in the process?
I would say I always had a faith. It has certainly grown over the last, I would say, like 6 to 7 years. And then this show, I think, to me, has just been a moment of proof that God is faithful. Because I had many prayers and I was seeking certain types of work, and then this job came, and I feel like that was just a testament to how He's always listening.
What project are you most excited about right now?
That I've done? Oh my gosh, I would say season 4 of The Chosen is going to be incredible. I can't wait for people to see these episodes in theaters of The Family with Martha and Mary and Lazarus, and that's coming out on the 15th and the 29th of February. And then 47 Days with Jesus is an Easter film that I just got to shoot, which is a family-oriented movie, and it has the gospel theme running through it and amazing music and choreography, and it's just a beautiful season. So very excited about all of it.
How important is it to you to be able to reach souls for God?
That is like the number one goal. I feel like entertainment is meant to uplift, and we've fallen into a season and a pattern, I think, in Hollywood where we're always trying to be edgy and dark and capture attention, and that works temporarily, I think. But the truth and the eternal truth lasts forever. So I am very grateful to be involved in projects like this.
Okay, you guys were just in Journey to Bethlehem. Wow, it was so fun. I loved it. Everybody's talking about it. How fun was that for you two, married, to be in a movie together?
Well, it was the first time.
Yeah.
And I personally hope it's not the last. Ironically, we were never in a scene together. So the film kind of cuts from shots of me to shots of Joel. And that worked out great because we got to play the support role when the other person was working. It was great.
Mariah plays the sister to Mother Mary, Deborah, and I play the son of Herod, who's played by Antonio Banderas. So the sort of joke on set is if there was ever a sequel, it would have to be a bit more fictionalized, but that Mary's sister and the son of Herod find love. You know, it'd be a nice little cherry on top.
Spin-off. Good spin-off right there.
So you guys have been very busy. You just co-produced Unsung Hero that's coming out. How is that, you co-producing your in-laws' true life story?
Yeah, well, we're all very close. My in-laws were really my family when I first moved to Nashville. My family's out here in California, and so even before getting married, I feel like we just were very integrated, and I'm really honored to be a part of telling the story. I think my husband did a world-class job at acting and really carrying the film. And the fact that he did that and co-directed it is, let's just say there were many nights where he was, you know, washing his face, washing off all the wrinkles and the white hair, and then also rehearsing his lines at the same time. And it might have been midnight or 1 a.m, and he would have a super early call time. So I was just very proud, very proud.
And for you, what would you like people to know about your family's true life story? It's really amazing.
I think the greatest way we can relate to each other is by telling our story. In this case, our mum and dad's migration story from Australia to the United States and all the tragedies and triumphs that we faced. You know, Luke and I were very young, but it's a very music-filled journey as well. And what I love is it is titled Unsung Hero, and I think depending on the viewer and the stage of life, you see yourself in the story. You know, if you're an 18-year-old girl, Rebecca, my sister, becomes sort of your unsung hero. And if you're a mum and a wife, then my mum, Helen, is just such a great figure in real life and in the picture. And if you're a husband or a father and you're trying to navigate your way through the sort of wanting to protect and wanting to lift up your wife and your family, then you relate to David's character. And I found the story really kind of ground level, dramatic and uplifting, and really celebrating motherhood and family, which is I think an important narrative for us to celebrate in 2024.
What does it mean to you to have inspiring films and Christian music? It is amazing how far it's come.
Thank you, dear. Well, it's kind of been written into our relationship from the week we met. The way I persuaded her to get to know me was I said we should write a song together, and we wrote a love song and we wrote a duet. And from that day to this, we've both loved the medium of sharing stories through music and spiritual stories through music and sharing stories through movies. And so lots more music to come, though. We've got this Inspired By soundtrack. We have more features on it than any record we've ever done. Mariah's right in the throw of working on a Latin country record, which is really exciting. And so we're just getting started, Lord willing.
So tell us why you're here at the Movieguide Awards tonight, how important it is to you.
Well, first of all, you know, I'm grateful to Dr. Ted. He asked me if I'd come and present this year. Last year I was here with a movie, with a group of people that we did a movie together called The Mulligan last year. So it's kind of nice to be here for a different reason, get a chance to present and acknowledge you know, the work that people are doing. And the thing I love about this particular award show and what Dr. Bear's doing is it's giving a place for people to go to watch content that they can enjoy with their family. You know, you're not covering your kids' eyes. And I just love, and it's still really great storytelling. And it just shows that you can tell stories without things having to be overly gratuitous. So there's a place for certain stories, but this is honoring those stories that people feel good about sitting down and celebrating and have great messages to them, and you know, and that you walk away feeling better just about the world. And I love that about that they take the time to honor that and acknowledge that kind of programming. It's good.
Is there a project you're working on right now, or something you want to tell us about?
Yeah, I just finished up. This time I'm in front of the camera. The last couple of years I've been directing, but I got in front of the camera to do a movie called Average Joe. It's going to come out in a few months. So I don't want to give too much away, but most people know the story about Coach Joe Kennedy, who lost his job for, you know, praying, and so it's a really cool story, very heartfelt, and just tells the story about Joe and his wife Denise and all the hurdles that they had to overcome to, you know, do what was right. So I'm excited to see that movie come out. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and then just taking care of my horses and enjoying the great outdoors.
Why is it important for you to take time out of your busy schedule to be here tonight?
It's the Movieguide Awards. Come on, you know, this is the most uplifting, the most fun award show, because it brings together all the happy people, all the good, inspiring programming, whether it be TV, made for TV, movies, music, and that's what the world needs. And I'm pretty much people's happy pill wherever I go. I cover the red carpet, but for many years before that, I'm an opening act comedian to the biggest stars in the world, Sammy Davis Jr. and Whitney Houston and Billy Idol, and you know, many of the people had me because I was fun. And that's what we need, and we need a positive message. And every day I think about, I get up, it's my day, and I'm going to think positive, work hard, and be happy a little bit every day and laugh. And that makes it a much more fulfilling life. And that's what all these great people like you do in our industry.
How important do you think it is for Christians to laugh?
Very much. And you know, comedy in general has always been kind of walking the tightrope. Some people making public statements, some people bringing out the truth. They say the funniest things in life are true. I always felt that people came out to see comedy, they just wanted to laugh. So very observational, a little silly, but always well-meaning. But it is important to laugh because, well, I'll get serious with you for a second. We're under attack, and I don't like it. I'm no less a person like any other American or a fellow human being. And because I love Jesus, that shouldn't make me not funny or not employable or maybe put into some other category. And I don't like that. And I don't like that for any other belief as well. Maybe I don't subscribe or participate to other people's, but I do believe they have a right to believe what they want. So let me believe what I want, you know? And once we have that security, then we don't have to feel inhibited not to have joy and happiness. God wants us to laugh. God wants us to have joy. And thank you for asking that question.
It's important for us to all love each other.
Very much, very much. And I celebrated my birthday, and it usually comes a week before the Movieguide Awards or the week after. And this week it just happened to work out. It was yesterday. And thank you so much. And I have a message for everybody that doesn't like their birthday. I count the blessings, not the candles.
You've been in the industry so long, and you and your husband, Mark Burnett, have done so many wonderful things. How important is it to you to share your faith with the world?
Oh gosh, it's everything. God has been so good to us, and we try to glorify Him through our work. And it's lovely to be able to come together tonight with our community and honor our peers for all the great work. This has been an especially great year, I think, for films and TV shows with a lot of heart. I've been in this space for 30 years maybe, trying to tell stories that impact the world for good. And I've got a new series coming out, The Baxters, which will be on Prime this spring, based on the Karen Kingsbury best-selling book series. And I think Karen is here somewhere tonight too, so a lot of old friends to catch up with.
Wonderful. So in your opinion, do you think the caliber of Christian films can rival mainstream films now?
For sure, I think that I think we just have to remember to step up with confidence into our faith. I think for too long we were whispering in the shadows, and now we're roaring in the light.
Your movie's up for an award tonight. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's so great. And Dennis Quaid, our wonderful star, is up for an award. I'm rooting for him to bring that Grace Award home. We loved our film. It did so well on Prime last Easter. We're committed to telling stories of hope. And that was a particularly hopeful one, On a Wing and a Prayer. And listen, isn't it just lovely? It's so great after the rains this week. I don't know if you felt the earthquake today. It's been quite a week for Los Angeles. It's nice to end it with a little bit of celebration.
So Donna, you have had a very long, successful career in television, soap operas, and film. What do you attribute your success to?
Probably nothing more than hard work, and discipline. I started out as a dancer. So as a dancer, you know discipline, and I think that stood me in good stead on my whole career.
Why are you here at the Movieguide Awards? How important is it what Movieguide does in Hollywood?
Well, I think it's, for families and that, it's really hard these days to figure out what children should see, what parents want them to see, what they want to see. So I think it's important to have something that tells them what the movie is, what it's about, and I think it's a really good thing and an important thing, and I'm glad that it stays around in this era of like everything flying all over the place.
Corbin, you've been acting, producing, and directing in Hollywood for years, and you've been married 35 years and have 4 sons. How do you keep your faith in Hollywood?
I don't think about Hollywood. I've never been a Hollywood guy. We don't live in here anymore. We live upstate New York. And so Hollywood's never made me one thing or the other. My heart and soul goes to my family, my wife, my 4 sons. They're now wives and daughters and girlfriends and all that. So it's not hard. It's just placing your where you put your energy, And so I don't put my energy into all this. I'll come out, help support this. I think it's important to have projects of faith, family, to balance. I mean, that's really what I've learned. People say, why are you with your wife for 35 years? How have you done that and all that? Well, it's balance. It's give and take. It's compromise. It's as I'm teaching my sons, it's about, you may feel this way vehemently about certain issues, but have empathy for the people that you don't like and can't understand, to understand why they might be like that, because they feel as strongly as you do in the opposite direction. I'm just the guy who's been married for 35 years, believes in my family, has faith in the world, and my own personal relationship with God, but that's another whole story.
Tell us why you keep coming back to the Movieguide Awards. We really appreciate your support.
Well, Dr. Bear's been a good friend. He's been a counsel to me for years, and he's always been supportive and loving, and he's always said to me, just keep going, God loves you, keep going, and without judgment, which is so important. I think a lot of people I've met in this world are judgmental. Love one another. That's all Jesus wanted us to do. Love one another, have humility, have humanity, care for one another, put your beliefs, your politics, and all that aside, and love one another.
So tell us about your movie, A Million Miles Away.
Well, it's a story of hope, of perseverance, of family. And for me, being a Latino person, it was very important that we saw my culture and being able to see in a positive light. And that it's a universal story for everybody.
How important it is to share your faith with the world and inspire people and encourage them in today's world.
Absolutely. I think we need all the encouragement that we can get right now. And I think that it's important that, for me, it's important that kids can look up and see themselves up on the screen, and in a way that they know that if I work hard and I go to school, I can achieve all my dreams. You don't have to be an astronaut, but whatever you want to do is it's good.
So tell us about your movie tonight.
Well, the movie's about Murph the Surf, or Jack Murphy, the most infamous jewel thief in American history. And he went through this arc of all-American boy, most infamous jewel thief in America, and then went to jail for 19 years, got out, spent the rest of his life, 35 years, going into prisons, giving people hope all over the world. It's an amazing story of redemption. It's like there's none like it, really. So that's probably, and I was with him for 35 years, shooting, going here, going there, and we became best friends. And he's an amazing guy. He was an amazing guy.
How important do you think it is in today's world for us to be able to tell redemptive stories and give hope?
Well, we have two sides out there. We got the dark side and the light side. Too much darkness. We do need this. I've been working with Ted since 1988, and we did his show in Atlanta for 2 years or so. But there's no doubt about it that we're winning. We're light. We're gonna win. But what Ted is doing is monumental. What he's done for Hollywood is monumental. The fact is that he has got them to look at the finances in the movies, and when it's a biblically based movie, it ends up grossing more dollars than a like-type progressive movie. So it's very important, and it changes. Words are powerful, visuals are powerful. What he's promoted is done amazing. You're probably too young, but when we started back in the 80s, there was nothing, and he's done a great job.
Don't miss the most inspiring night in TV, celebrating the best in family and uplifting entertainment.
I'm thrilled to honor programming that brings people closer to God's love.
The Movieguide Awards, March 7th on Great American Family.
That's a wrap from the red carpet. Don't forget to subscribe and go to movieguide.org.
If you enjoy videos that follow your values like ours and you want to help us continue, go to movieguide.org/donate, because we're actually a nonprofit. You may not know that, but we're working in Hollywood every day to help families have more choices that follows their values. And also subscribe right now.